superior size and grind it out in the half court.
Opening tip, it's in the air. Let's ball, y'all. We're underway from D.C. on Thanksgiving Eve. First bounce of the ball game. It belongs to the Hornets. Ponce James works the pill with the right hand. He'll go baseline right side. Cyril Obasogi. He'll leave it on the wing, right wing. That's where he spots Zion Bethea. Around the perimeter it goes. Opposite wing, top of the key is Ramir Moore. 3-ball on the way. The triplet falls for Adamar Santos. First bomb of the ball game belongs to Delaware State.
A nice looking stroke. 6'8", hitting that 3 from the wing for Delaware State. Off to a good start.
And a half court, Jared Wright operates. He'll leave it on the wing, right wing. It's Jordan Lambert. Lambert one dribble. He'll pick up the pill, finds Davion Coleman. Coleman leaves it left wing. On the wing, the left side for Hilliard. 3-ball falls as we get back-to-back buckets on the first touches for each team. Just a deuce, however, on this end for Virginia State. Del State has the 3-2 lead.
Yeah, Obasogi, the big for Delaware State, played drop coverage on that possession, and Hilliard just pulled up and buried the 15-footer.
Obasogi will hand off. Santos controls. He stops the key. One dribble left hand. Feeds Ponce James in the lane. They turned it over. Right to left, Virginia State has possession. Let's meet the starters for Virginia State as the spot-up jumper is off target, no good. Delaware State grabs the rebound. Jordan Lambert, Brandon Hilliard, Willem Hopkins, Davion Coleman, Jared Wright. First 5 on the floor for Virginia State. Spot up by Santos goes down, knocks down the deuce. Santos has all 5 points for the Hornets. They have the 5-2 lead.
And Hilliard, 6'2", got caught on the big man Santos, his second bucket early on in this one.
Meanwhile, baseline jumper by William Hopkins goes down. We're tied at 5-5. Starting 5 for the Hornets. Zion Bethea, Ponce James, Ramir Moore, Cyril Obasogi, Adamar Santos. 5 on the floor for DSU. Moore controls from there, baseline right. We get a bump. We get a whistle. We're going to get a hack. Works here early in the first half. This is going to work down low against Virginia State. Going to get Hopkins. Will Hopkins for the personal. His first, team's first.
Well, Moore got the angle on this right wing. Straight line drive to the bucket. Got the shoulder into him, but they called it on the floor. Baseline out of bounds for Delaware State.
Obasogi, the junior from Nigeria, going to inbound. Along the baseline, finds Santos. Santos on the pump left hand. Up top, Ponce James sees the paint. Obasogi in the lane. One bounce by the big boy in the lane. Front rim, rise rim, won't fall in. Rebound, ripped down by Coleman. Davion Coleman with the board, with the walk-up. Here comes Virginia State. Trojans in the half court. Coleman to the bank, lays it off glass. It won't go. Rebound ripped away by Delaware State. Hornets trying to break the 5-5 tie.
Well, Delaware State early on going to the big Santos and Obasogi, getting early offensive opportunities.
Ponce James, top of the key. He'll feed Santos on the wing. Back to Ponce. Triple on the wing. Back rim off target. It won't go. Rebound ripped down by Virginia State. The men of Troy in the half court. Hilliard will feed the paint. Layup, left hand, ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Delaware State. It'll be Virginia State possessing. Coached by Lonnie Blow. He's been doing this for a while. In his 12th season as the head man in charge, has won 2 championships in the CIAA at Virginia State as well as at St. Paul. In the paint, jumper, back rim, no good. Rebound, Zion Bethea, back the other way, Hornets. In the half court, Moore feeds down low, ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Virginia State, it'll be Delaware State basketball. Speaking of Del State, Stan Waterman is the head man in charge. Came from the high school coaching ranks, 29 years as a high school coach in the state of Delaware, and as we mentioned, brought the Hornets to the championship game in the MEAC just a couple of years ago. Santos possessed for the Del State Hornets. He'll give it up. Ponce James runs the point, top of the circle, steps inside the arc. The kick to Santos, down the lane. He'll lay it up left hand. Off rim, no good. Weak side, put back, no good. Rebound, Trojans. Virginia State on the move. Down the lane, floater, right hand. Back rim, no good for Lambert. Rebound, Virginia State. Another bite at the apple. Lambert for 3. Jordan Lambert, wide open on the wing left side, drops the triplet as Virginia State grabs the 8-5 lead.
Virginia State pounding the offensive glass. That's what gave them that extra opportunity to get that 3-ball, LG.
Moore on the other end. Controls to Delaware State. Romero Moore going to feed the baseline. Baseline left. That's Zion Bethea. He'll give it up over Sogi. Cyril, one bounce on the block. Jump hook. Front rim, no good. Yeah. Rebound collected by the Trojans. Here comes Virginia State.
Obasogi, 2 good looks. He's got to get a little more arc on that jump hook, LG.
Spot up Hilliard. It's off target. Rebound Obasogi. Here come the Hornets. Left to right, DSU on the move. Ponce James controls. Ponce in the paint. Backs off. He'll feed up top. Zion Bethea controls. The kick to James. Ponce goes baseline left with it. On the low block, Obasogi. Jump hook. Front rim and in. Deuce drops.
A little bit more arc, barely, but he got the spin and the roll, dropped it in. But they're getting what they want right now, Delaware State on the offensive end.
1-point lead, Virginia State, they have the pill. In the half court, we slip inside of 15 minutes remaining. We're in the opening half. On the wing is Lambert. He controls with the bounce right hand on the wing left side. Gets screened from Coleman. Steps inside the arc. Lambert to the cup. Off glass, off rim, and in for Jordan Lambert. Fifth point of the half.
Lambert had the 6'8", Santos on him, able to use his speed to get the blow by with the finish.
Santos hoping for the triple. Knocks down the 3-ball. Deep triple from the wing left side.
Well, he's eating up Jared White right now, either in a one-on-one or in screen and roll action when they switch and he gets a smaller player on him.
In the half court, White controls. He'll feed the wing, spot up jumper, Hopkins side of the rim. It won't go. Rebound corralled by the Hornets are on the run. Here comes Zion Bethea. Lob is missed by Santos. A little off balance, could not finish. On the other end, the men of Troy. Virginia State, spot up jumper from the baseline. The triple falls for Jared White. Virginia State on top by 3, 13-10.
Well, White letting Santos know I can hit the 3-ball as well, but on that missed shot, they had a 2-on-1 break. Santos wasn't able to get back. That's why White was wide open in that corner for the 3.
Delaware State looking to counter. Ponce James will feed Zion Bethea. His spot up as an air ball. Rebound weak side, Brandon Hilliard back. The other way come the Trojans. Virginia State in the half court. Brandon Hilliard feeds down low. It's Coleman. Davion Coleman. We'll leave it for Jared White. His spot up baseline. Big time air ball.
Got to run out.
Hornets. Bethea beating everybody down the floor. He'll lay it up and in. Kiss off glass. Pulls the Hornets to within 1 at 13-12.
Good outlet pass by Delaware State. Bethea holding up, gathering himself, getting on balance, and using the reverse.
Jordan Lambert turns it over. Del State gets the steal.
They had Bethea open. Sorry, LG. They had Bethea open again. They didn't see him.
In the half court, Ponce James, baseline Bethea, corner pocket triple. Side of the backcourt won't go. Rebound, Virginia State, they'll walk it up.
I think Coach Blow wants him to slow it down a minute for a second. He's got 5 guys at the scores table right now ready to replace.
Hilliard going to swing it on the ring. That's where he spots Lambert. Up top, Jared White. White between the circles, 10 to shoot. Jared on the bounce, left hand. Hilliard now controls. He has it on the wing. Steps inside the arc to kick to White. Jared's open for the ball. Knocks down the triplet. Jared White with his second tray of the day.
But Hilliard's dribble penetration, drawing 2 and then kicking it, allowed Coleman to get that free look.
Ponce James on the other end. Feed Santos. The kick to James. Along the baseline. Moore ball out of bounds, and we're going to get a timeout. Timeout comes at the 12:08 mark of the opening half as we step aside. Your score, Virginia State 16, Delaware State 12. This is HBCU NDC, the tip-off experience.
Introducing the all
experience. Hot and heavy early, Coach. I like the energy early.
Oh, no question. Virginia State off early. They're 4 or 5 from 3, 80%. That's why they have the lead right now. But Delaware State 2 or 4 from the 3-ball. LG, both teams shooting well. Virginia State just put in a brand new 5. LG, they're up 4. Let's see what happens and how long they go with this second unit before they get the starters back in.
Yeah, got Amari Wimbush in. Jared Clausen is in the game. Michael Cooper on the floor as the Virginia State Trojans. Not shy about subbing in. Lonnie Blow got a full roster. as we get the ball goes out of bounds, going to get a foul. This foul is going to work on the low post, going to work, I believe, against Michael Cooper. Going to pick up the person, the 12:02 mark. Here in the opening half, first on Cooper, as Del State going to send Miles Webb to the free throw line. That's 6'8" senior, Arlington, Virginia native. First season with Delaware State, St. Francis transfer, St. Francis of PA. Miles Webb, long and lean. Free throws coming his way. Just taking 2 free throws on the season so far. Take and miss. Rim out, no good.
Well, you know, Norm Van Leer played at St. Francis of PA.
I did not know that.
The Chicago,
I learned things hanging around with you.
Chicago Bull Great.
Coach Jimmy Fly.
And he could play some defense.
Yeah, defense wins championships.
Him and Jerry Sloan.
Miles Webb, one more toss. The take, the miss. Missed them both. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Back the other way comes Virginia State. They're going to operate in the half court. Up top, Amari Wimbush going to feed the wing. The left wing, Jared Clausen, top of the key. 3 on the way. That's an air ball. Big time air ball. Ball almost turned over, but Virginia State going to retrieve. And the Trojans going to reset. On the wing, left side, Trojans go to work. Ball tossed out of bounds. And we're going to go ahead and step back. We're going to grab another timeout. Here it comes. 11:35 remaining. We are in the experience. Lamont Germany and Coach Jimmy Fly off the inbound. Hornets trying to see if they can do something about a 4-point deficit. Down 16-12. Ponce James, top of the key. Feeds the wing. That's Corey Perkins. Perkins has the dribble on the bounce right hand. Steps inside the arc in the lane. Perkins with a layup left hand. Rides rimming in for Corey Perkins.
Well, good job because Virginia State's taking away that post entry pass. They're playing hard up top. And that allowed the driving lane and the angle for Delaware State.
Away from the rock, looks like we got a hack. I think it's going to work against the Hornets. I think they're going to get Muzambini Adamu for the person working in the paint, his first. Non-shooting foul, Virginia State on the inbound baseline. Jared Clausen will trigger in the entry for the Trojans. Clausen looking for an inbound. Up top, Amari Wimbush controls. Wimbush almost backcourt, but he saved it to Hillier. Baseline Clausen. Clausen on the bounce. He'll feed Wimbush top of the key. Just inside the arc. He spots up. Back rim. Off target. No good. Miles Webb with the board. Here come the Hornets. Corey Perkins controls in the half court. Feeds the paint. Adamu. Ball loose. Let's see who grabs it. That's Miles Webb with the peel. Del State keeps the possession alive. Ponce James dribbles baseline. Feeds the paint. Turns it over. Stolen. 2-on-1 break. Here comes Clausen. All the way to the rim. He'll lay it up. It won't go off glass. Follow is good as Amari Wimbush gets the bucket, draws the foul. Wimbush, the Bowie State transfer, on his way to the stripe. He'll look to complete the 3-point play.
Well, James, as you see, Wimbush on the follow in transition, but that all started with James. He had the big man, Adamu, at the front of the rim, but the pass was a little too hard. Every time they've made a miscue and a live ball turnover, Virginia State's made them pay on the other end.
That's the senior from nearby Landover, Maryland, Amari Wimbush, with the 3-point play the old school way. As the Virginia State Trojans sit on top, 19-14. 10:28 remains in the opening half. In half court, Hornets go to work. Ponce James controls up top. Miles Webb. Webb on the bounce right hand. Gives it up. Perkins. Corey on the dribble left hand. Between the legs with the dribble. Perkins feeds the wing. James. Ponce left of the lane. Finds Webb in the paint. His runner no good. Rebound collected by Jalen Wynn. Back the other way come the Trojans.
Well, the bigs
half court Hillier.
Yeah, the bigs for Delaware State, they're short arming these inside plays. They got to get some arc on the ball, get it up off the glass.
On the wing right side, Virginia State offense. Patient this trip down. Hillier, corner pocket 3. Back rim, it's off target, won't go. Rebound, outlet, Ponce James to the cup. Lays it up and in.
Yeah, Delaware State switched it in 2-3 defense that time. Virginia State guards, they got to get back off the miss. James with the run out and finish.
In the half court, Virginia State looking to see if they can counter punch. Still have the 3-point lead at the 9:25 mark. Opening half of play. In the paint, Wimbush, his floater, back rim, off target, no good. Offensive board, Jalen Wynn loses the handle in the paint. Del State gets the steal. Out of move, throws it away, stolen by Hilliard. Here come the Trojans, right to left. 3 ball, Clausen, count it. Transition triple, rims home.
All those buckets in transition have been off of miscues by Delaware State. Virginia State on these live ball turnovers. That's why they got to 6-point lead.
Up a half a dozen as the Hornets go to work in the half court. Ponce James leaves it on the wing. That's Corey Perkins, steps inside the arc. Back to James, entry pass, left of the lane, Adamu. Moves Zambini, Adamu lays it up right hand, back rim, no good. Follow by Miles Webb, active on the offensive window. It goes down.
I think Delaware State's got to continue to pound it in like they just did there and then crash the offensive glass. I think they have an advantage if they do that.
Jared Clausen, top of the key, thought about a 3 instead. He'll go a high block. Turnaround jumper is good. Sweet turnaround. Marcus Jackson goes down. For Jackson, his first deuce of the day. 24-18. That's the lead for Virginia.
Well, that's a smooth left-handed stroke. And Jackson, they're really playing hard and denying the entry pass to the bigs for Delaware State.
Perkins on the perimeter. Corey with a left-hand floater. Rim out, no good. Rebound, Adamu. He'll feed Santos. Spots up for the triple. Front rim off target, no good. On a rebound, we'll get a whistle. We're going to foul. Believe they're going to get Hilliard. Virginia State, I believe we're going to get a timeout. Indeed, let's step aside. We get a timeout. 7:51 remaining. First half of play. Trojans on top. 24-18 is the cushion. HBCU NDC. This is the tip-off experience.
Durable storage case. And for a limited time.
Blake Bozeman Foundation. The mission statement, plain, simple, direct, empowering young people in 3 categories: mentoring, community, and education, trying to stem the tide of senseless violence that has ripped far too many communities. So we're more than just about bouncing basketballs on this day before Thanksgiving. Off the inbound, Delaware State controls. In a half court, that's Corey Perkins on the bounce with the left hand. Perkins inside the arc. He'll go left wing with the peel. That's Ponce James. James leaves it for Santos. Bounce pass, baseline, left in the paint. The runner by Miles Webb. Back rim off target, no good. Rebound belongs to the Trojans. Virginia State with the walk-up. They have the 24-18 lead. They have the pill. Clausen feeds the paint. Gets it back. Triple on the way. Another bomb by Jared Clausen.
Delaware State is switching to 2-3 zone, and Virginia State just heating it up from that 3-point line this first half, LG.
Starting to get some elbow room. Virginia State got a little bit of a lead, 9-point separation.
Well, when they went to their bench, they actually were +2 when they had their second unit in, so they gained a 1-possession advantage.
Let's see if Del State can counter Perkins. Baseline. He'll leave it for Santos. 3 on the way. Back ram off target. Weak side rebound. Miles Webb. He'll find Ponce James. He'll spot up inside the arc. Ponce with the pretty spot up. James drops the deuce. Del State cuts the gap to 7. 27-20 is the Virginia State.
James, their leading scorer. He needs to heat it up. Look for a shot a little bit more. Delaware State staying in this 2-3 zone.
On the other end, Virginia State goes to work. In the paint, down low. Good high-low. Two-hand stuff. Davian Coleman. The flush extends the lead to 29-20.
Yeah, that was miscommunication in the zone. Santos was all the way out on the wing. They went down into the short corner for the easy bucket.
On the other end, Ponce James, top of the key 3. Back ram, off target, no good. Ball out of bounds. Virginia State goes just so efficient and effective on offense. They're able to get the look high-low. Coleman with the two-hand flush. It's a Virginia State team that has just been more effective. I think on both ends, but particularly on the offense.
Well, Virginia State's team defense is dictating this game right now. They're taking away the interior play of Delaware State, and then their 3-ball against this zone, and they're just eating them up right now. There's another one.
Lambert off target. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Hornets are on the run. Ponce James will leave it for Perkins. Lays it up. but the finishing, following, flush by Webb goes down. Elevates, terminates. Del State climbs to within 29-22.
Well, Webb 6'8", getting out in transition. He's giving positive minutes for the Hornets right now.
Hilliard baseline, he'll go opposite baseline. Good ball movement. Lambert for three, won't go but a hack. In the act, he'll be shooting, I believe, three. Meanwhile, coach, that throwdown by Webb, that's an athletic young fella getting up high.
Well, they had a 3-on-1 break. That's why you run the floor hard if you're a big man. You don't know. You got to assume a miss, and then he was right at the rim to finish that play off for Delaware State.
Junior from Hopewell, Virginia, Jordan Lambert makes the first free throw, shooting 83% from the stripe on the season. This is his first year with the Trojans, JUCO transfer. Came from Coastal Bend Community College in Beeville, Texas, before he decided he's going to try life as a Trojan. Well, makes his second free throw. He got one more, coach.
He averages 13, and he shoots 60% from the floor. He's having a good first half for Virginia State. Delaware State is not doing a good job of closing out shooters right now.
31-22, Virginia State in the driver's seat. We approach 5 minutes remaining in the opening half.
It looked like Virginia State switching into a 1-2-2 zone on this possession.
In a half court, Hornets space it. Ponce feeds the wing. Santos controls. Adamar Santos on the dribble right hand. Back up top, James. 5 to shoot. James slips inside the arc. In the paint, the runner right hand is good by Ponce James as the shot clock was winding down. Yeah, it's cut the gap to 31-24.
I thought James got away with a hook on that. He showed his arm around the waist of the defender.
Hilliard for three. That's off target. That's an air ball. Weak side rebound, Santos. Del State on the run. James in the paint. Feeds the block down low. Layup blocked. Rebound loose. Corralled by Virginia State.
Yeah, Virginia State, they're a well-coached, well-disciplined team. They're taking it to Delaware State right now.
I think they're going to get Miles Webb in the paint. Delaware State's, Miles Webb going to pick up the personal. Comes at the 4:20 mark here in the opening half. Non-shooting foul. Virginia State going to inbound. Trojans nursing the 31-24 lead. CIAA meets MEAC, and right now, Coach, advantage CIAA.
Yeah, if Virginia State can get this game at a 70-point pace, I don't think that Delaware State, averaging under 60 a game, can stay with them.
Jordan Lambert, baseline right, backs off, feeds Hilliard on the wing. Entry pass to Coleman, overthrown, stolen backside by the Hornets.
Yeah, a little too far on that, but Coleman's got to go up with two hands and secure the ball.
On the wing, Corey Perkins. Corey on the dribble. He'll go up top. James Ponce for three. Too strong. Back rim, off target.
Yeah, that kick out to James, he's missed that a couple times. They really need that shot because it's a wide open look.
Hilliard in the half court. Pounds the pill left hand, gets instructions from head coach Lonnie Blow. Now he goes to work in that Virginia State offensive set. He'll feed baseline on that baseline left side. Jared White picks it up. Looks for help. Skip pass up top. Lambert, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Lambert to the cup. Contact, a hack. I think right before the shot clock expired, a foul. So they got blown out by the bailed out, I should say, by the foul. So we're going to get a timeout. And it's been high-flying and death-defying. The young fellas been elevating and terminating, rising and finalizing throughout the first half. We have 3:21 remaining in this first half. Your score, Virginia State 31, Delaware State 24. HBCU in D.C. We're back right after this.
Breakdowns are costly.
Experience as we got Virginia State. We got Delaware State, and it's been the Trojans coach setting the tone and tempo.
They're doing it on the defensive end, and their defense, live ball turnovers are leading to transition bucket. Lambert with 7 points. Delaware State led by the 6'8 forward Santos, but Delaware State controlling the tempo of this ball game in the first half.
Lambert at the free throw line to take it and make out one more coming his way. Lambert One bounce of the basketball, slight knee bend, makes both free throws. The lead is 33-24 with 3:18 remaining in the opening.
Virginia State showing 2-2-1 full court pressure for the first time.
Santos on the wing. He'll go up top. Perkins back to Santos. Carves out some space, takes the triple. Off target, won't go. Ball out of bounds. Last touch, Virginia State. It'll be Del State possession.
Well, Santos, he hit a couple of those on the left side to start this game, LG, but he's been ice cold since. They need him to pick it up offensively.
Corey Perkins going to inbound along the baseline. Perkins off the entry. Adamar Santos. He'll feed up top on the wing, left side. Works it around the perimeter. They turn it over. Still, Bob Trojans. They got to work at half court. Jared White, corner pocket. Drops the triplet. That's the third triple of the first half for White. It's a 12-point lead for the Trojans at 36-24.
Another transition bucket off a Sinclair turnover. When they get out and run, they're finding Coleman out in the open, and he's knocking down those threes.
Jalen St. Clair will feed up top. Corey Perkins. Perkins on a bounce right hand. Finds Miles Webb. Webb down the lane. We get contact. We're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a foul on the floor against the Trojans. Virginia State thought maybe an offensive foul, but this one's going to go against Virginia State.
Yeah, Webb is really attacking the basket. He's got two transition dunks that time, put it on the deck, and able to get it up off the glass.
It's going to be Corey Perkins going to trigger in the entry. Off the entry, Jalen St. Clair controls. St. Clair on the bounce to the right hand. Has it beyond the arc. He'll step inside the arc. Gives it up. Saragaba able to spot up and knock down the deuce. That's his first bucket of the first half. Hornets climb to within 36-26. On the other end, another layup. Coleman able to finish, as this is a Virginia State team that has been on time, on tempo, on target, on offense.
They switched Delaware State to 1-2-2 half-court trap, but they just carved that up.
Spot up, Miles Webb, it's off target. White with the rebound, outlet in the half court. Will Hopkins, he'll feed White, another triple. I think he's hot. I think it's official. That's the fourth triplet of the half for Jared White. Comes with just 1:38 remaining before intermission. When you find a hot hand, you gotta feed him, coach, especially if it's the day before Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Get a little turkey, a little stuffing, a little mashed potato, sweet potato pie, because Coleman right now is killing them from that corner.
You can just see the look in his eyes, man. Give me the ball. His stroke is pure as he's able to hit him from all over the floor. White is red hot as he drops another one. That's the senior from Bowie, Maryland. He is a transfer from Johnson C. Smith within the conference. Came from Johnson C. Smith, the Golden Bulls, and now doing his thing.
But that's a 6'9" guy knocking down those threes. That's not a little guard doing that. That's a nice shooting stroke by the big man for Virginia State.
Yeah, able to get it done for the Trojans and able to build the lead to a fat 15.
Yeah, Delaware State they can ill afford out of this timeout to turn the ball over or make any miscues. They need to play a solid 1:38. Try to finish this half on a positive note.
Minute 38 left. Hornets looking to close strong. Got work to do. Corey Perkins with a walk-up. Feeds St. Clair on the wing. Opposite wing, Watson controls. Couple of dribbles with the left hand. He'll feed Perkins. Finds Santos on the wing. Corey Perkins. Up top, Santos. From the free throw line, he'll pivot. No open shot. He'll give it up along the baseline. Three by Corey Perkins. Big-time air ball. Saragaba with the rebound, but he turns it over. Throws it away. White with the steal. Lambert with the walk-up.
Well, Virginia State going into that 1-2-2 with this big lead, and Delaware State's inability to shoot the three ball hurting them right now.
And the paint layup, left hand won't go, but a whistle and a hack beneath the hole will work against Basanti. Saragba, I believe, for the Hornets, picking up the personal. And at the free throw line will be Marcus Jackson. 6'10", freshman. Baltimore, boy, is Marcus Jackson. Interesting story about Jackson. He originally committed to the University of Maryland, decommitted from Maryland. Also had a couple of other majors looking his way. Again, from Baltimore. Didn't want to go too far away from home. It's just a freshman, but I think Coach Lonnie Blow may have something on his hands. And number 23 is the free throw line, Marcus Jackson.
Oh yeah, he's got a nice stroke. He's long. He looks like he probably got a 7-foot plus wingspan. These guys today, the wingspan to be able to deflect, alter, and block shots is big for an interior player.
Made first shot, second free throw by Jackson. Wait a minute, do we have lane violation? Whistle sound. Jackson did make both free throws, but I think the second one won't count. Lane violation. I think Jared White, the lane violation. He's so hot shooting threes, man. He just lost his position on the floor for a minute. Lane violation, so second free throw won't count.
Virginia State sitting back in this 1-2-2 defense. They're going to force Delaware State to shoot from the perimeter and beat them over the top.
We are inside of a minute remaining in the opening half. Del State with possession. Ponce James with the tip on the bounce with the right hand. Ponce will feed the wing. On the wing left side, Watson goes baseline. Pull up by Moore. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound Santos beneath the bucket. He'll lay it off glass and in. Baltimore Santos with the bucket. Cuts the gap, but only 25 seconds remaining in the half.
Santos getting that loose change off the deflection. Delaware State needed that, but they need to stop right now, LG.
Virginia State can play for the last touch of the half. Lonnie Blow gonna go ahead and get a timeout to use it or lose it. Timeout comes with 17 seconds remaining in the opening half. Quite the half for Virginia State.
Well, what are you gonna do out of this timeout, LG? I'm gonna run it down to like 1-2 seconds. I'm gonna put Coleman in that left-hand corner where he just made 3 shots and say, son, go ahead and knock another one down for me, and then go into the halftime on a positive note.
This is CIAA against MEAC. MEAC Division I, CIAA Division II. Because you and I have done enough CIAA games and MEAC games to know that the difference margin is really not that great. And when they step on the floor against one another, they just go at it.
Well, I mean, when you can get a guy that was recruited by the University of Maryland to go into the Division II CIAA, that's saying something. He saw a winning program. He wanted to be a part of it because he could have went anywhere else, LG. I'm sure other big-name schools. But you got a championship-level coach and head coach Blow, and they're sticking it to the Hornets right now.
Off the inbound, Lambert controls. 15 seconds, the ball stolen by Ponce James. That's the last thing Coach Lonnie Blow wanted out of a timeout is a steal turnover by Virginia State. Getting a little sloppy with ball handling. Del State gets the strip and also foul against Virginia State. Hornets will inbound half court. They have an opportunity to close the first half.
Yeah, Virginia State really has played clean this first half. That's the first mental mistake they've made.
Ponce James, top of the key, slips inside the arc, get a little contact. I believe they're going to get Lambert. Yeah, Jordan Lambert.
They had a foul. Yeah, they had a foul to give there, so next foul would put them in the bonus.
Non-shooting as a consequence, and so Del State going to inbound. Got 7 seconds. Meanwhile, subbing back in, Jared Clausen. He'll replace Lambert.
Yeah, you don't want Lambert, LG, picking up a second foul with 7 seconds to go.
Baltimore Santos to trigger in the entry. Finds Ponce James. 5 seconds left in the half. Ponce in the paint. The pull-up is pretty. Knocks down the deuce. That's the buzzer. That's the first half. Up and down first half, but the fire and brimstone belong for the most part to those Trojans, coaches. They were able to build what is a 12-point lead at intermission. As we're going to step aside, we've reached the halfway mark. We're heading towards the break. This is the HBCU NDC tip-off experience. Trojans in the driver's seat, 12-point lead over the Delaware State University Hornets.
Back pain.
Jimmy Fly, break down that first half math for me, Coach.
Well, you can look at the math. Virginia State's passing the the exams right now, 56% from the floor, 64 from three. That's like getting an A++ from the three-point line. Delaware State, 29% from distance, 37% from the floor. But the big thing to me is the points off of turnovers. Delaware State had a lot of live ball turnovers that they turned into daggers at the other end, and that's why they got this big 12-point cushion.
Is there hope for the Hornets in the second half? What do they need to do to stabilize things and get back into this stuff?
I think for Delaware State, they got to get the ball in the hole so they can set up some full-court pressure. They've got to pick up their tempo a little bit and get out and run. They got stagnant in the half court, and late in that first half, Virginia State, they went to zone, which I think they're going to use a lot in this second half because they can cut off penetration, cut off post play, and force Delaware State to beat them from that three-point line.
And for Virginia State, can they sustain what they did in the first half in the second half?
Well, if the big man, Coleman, can keep shooting those threes, he was lights out in the first half. Lambert as well was killing Delaware State from the perimeter. Those two were cooking, and Virginia State, they're rolling right now, and I expect them to keep going.
Yeah, Lambert, as you talked about it, he was handling business both in the paint and on the perimeter. This was the Virginia State team that was clicking on all cylinders. And we're going to see if Delaware State has an answer in the second half. There's a reason they play two halves. Let's see if Virginia State can keep on keeping on and if Delaware State can stem the tide. Sometimes when it's Division I against Division II, it's big brother against little brother. And sometimes, Coach, little brother just gets sick and tired of being beat up on by big brother. We're saying D2 controlling things here in Virginia State.
I think little brother could go in a MEAC and beat up on a couple teams there. The way they're put together, they got size on the interior and they got scoring on the perimeter. They're doing it all, and I just like the team defense. I think their team defense has really stifled Delaware State. They are not allowing post-entry passes. They're rebounding the basketball, and as I said earlier, they're turning them over. And when they turn them over with live ball turnovers, they're beating them down the floor. And right now, Delaware State looking at a 12-point deficit.
We're doing it in Washington, D.C. And throughout the second half, Coach, because we're talking about Washington, D.C. and basketball, I'm going to throw out some Washington, D.C. Hoopers, and I want you to elucidate.
Two Pittsburgh guys talking about D.C. Hoopers.
D.C. Hoopers, and we're going to begin with one pure D.C. Hooper that I used to love from back in the day, Elgin Baylor. You remember Elgin Baylor?
I do remember Elgin Baylor. Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, Lakers, Wilt to Stilt. Elgin Baylor was Michael Jordan and all these guys you talk about now before all that ever happened, and doing it in Chuck Taylors. That's what I try to tell these young guys. I said, do you understand that the best players in the history of basketball wore Chuck Taylors? Now Chuck Taylors are a fashion statement.
That is so true. Adrian Dantley.
Now he's one of my favorite all-time players. Just when I think of Adrian Dantley, I think of footwork. That man had impeccable low post footwork, pump fakes. He put you through the blender down low, and then he had that iconic when he got to the free throw line. He was a great free throw shooter, but he kind of like took one hand and cupped it and spun it in his hand like real hard, and boom. But he was a dominant scorer in college at Notre Dame, obviously in high school at DeMatha, and then in the pros, a Hall of Famer through and through.
Got to pause before the second half commences. Issue with the clock and with the buzzer. And we're going through our laundry list of esteemed D.C. ballers since we're doing it here in D.C. I'm going to test you with this one, Coach. He did a little thing on the basketball court. He also dibbled and dabbled in politician, Dave Bing.
Well, Dave Bing, he dibbled and dabbled in the automobile industry as well as a Detroit Piston. What are you going to say, man? That guy could do it all. Great guard in the NBA for a long period of time. Played with Big Bob Lanier. See, everybody back then which they don't realize now because the big man's kind of been taken out of the game, the center position in the pros. But every big man back then had a hook shot. Kareem had the sky hook. Artis Gilmore, Lanier, they had sweeping hooks. And Coach Jimmy Fly in the playgrounds in Greensburg, Pennsylvania had the fly hook.
I want to see video evidence, man.
The fly hook,
do you have a picture?
I used to, at 5'4",
I need receipts.
I used to post guys up at 5'4" and just, all you got to do is get arc on it.
Okay.
It's the hardest shot to block in basketball.
Dave Bing back in the day. Let's bring it up to the modern day. Kevin Durant.
Good gracious. He's the closest guy to me that I would compare to the Iceman, George Gervin.
Okay.
Just a pure
That's
score.
tall timber, man.
Oh, that's tall timber. I stood next to Kevin Durant at a Wizards Golden State game once. He didn't know who I was, but I was standing on the baseline, and he was shooting corner threes, warming up. I mean, my head barely came up to his waist. He's all arms and legs, and he's an assassin. I mean, he just gets to his spots, and he's so big and so sweet with the jumper. The only thing he's lacking to be the equivalent of the Iceman is the finger roll.
I got you, man, on the finger roll. There's something in the water, there's something in the air, there's something about basketball. And really this whole DMV area, when you talk about hoops in Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, and Virginia, and the surrounding suburbs, it is indeed a hotbed. And I don't know, Coach, it just seems to be getting hotter.
Oh, yeah. It just keeps growing and growing. I mean, if you're a college basketball coach and you need players, your first stop better be in the DMV because you got in the high school ranks Division I players all over.
All over the landscape, although the landscape is changing. And part of that changing landscape, I think both of these coaches are dealing with, where it's so hard, Coach, to keep a team together from year to year because people are moving everywhere. You've been a coach. How much of a challenge is that? Because you can't really build anything. Soon you think you got a foundation, they're gone in a year or two.
Well, I coached in the Maryland JUCO for 8 years, so JUCO is a equivalent to that because you only have the players for 2 years. And you get them in the freshman, you start developing. Year 2, they grow and expand their game, and then bye-bye, they're gone. So you're constantly in a rebuild mode. I just want to know, LG, can we get some of this NIL money? They're giving that to broadcasters?
No, man, you got to have game, and I don't think you have any more, Coach.
No, I'm on the side. I'm golfing. That's the only game I got left.
I think we're going to play a little basketball now. Clock situation has been modified. Let's get back to hoops. Lambert controls in the half court. First touch of the second half going to belong to the Trojans. Jared White goes up top. Davion Coleman feeds the wing. That's Will Hopkins on the bounce left hand. Goes low, block for Jared White. He can do more than shoot threes. Lays it in the cup with the right hand. Deuce falls. The lead is 44-30.
Well, White killed him from the perimeter in the first half. He opens up the second with an easy layup.
In the half court, Ponce James. He'll go up top for Adamar Santos. Hand off Ramir Moore. Opposite wing, Zion Bethea. Bethea on the dribble left hand. Flips inside the arc. He'll go low block. Obusoki lays it left hand. It won't go. Weak side rebound. Lost. Out of bounds. That will be a turnover. It will be Virginia State basketball. Virginia State begins with a bucket. Dallas State begins with a turnover. Not a early sign for the Hornets.
Well, but it was not a live ball one. It allows them to set up full court pressure. They're picking up man.
Lambert with the walk up. Operates in the half court. Pounds the pill right hand. Did he carry it? No whistle. Up top, White controls. Jarrett White left of the lane. Has a low block. Kick up top, Hopkins. Will Hopkins triple. Side of the rim off target. Rebound corralled by Ponce James. Here comes Delaware State. James in the paint. James to the cup. Blocked by Coleman. Rebound Trojans left to right. Hilliard controls. Finds Lambert. He'll go baseline. Will Hopkins with the triplet. That rims out. Won't go. Rebound corralled by Ramir Moore. Here comes Ponce James.
And he just pinned that last shot. Allowed Virginia State to get out and run, but couldn't convert.
Moore to the rack. His scoop no good. Obusogi with the rebound. One bounce on the block. He'll kick it on the wing. That's a layup. Left hand won't go, but the follow is good. Deuce will go down for Ramir Moore. That's his first bucket of the ball game. Hornets got the gap to 44-32.
By that time, Delaware State had 3 guys on the offensive glass. The first half, they weren't sending multiple players to the rim. I think they got to crash the glass hard and get some boards.
Jordan Lambert controls. Top of the circle, spin move, down the lane. He'll lay it up right hand. Blocked by Del State's Obisogi. Rebound. Ramiro Moore. Here come the Hornets. Moore with the walk up. In the half. He'll lay it up and in. Kiss off window drops. All of a sudden, Del State showing some signs of life. Got to get a timeout. That comes just 2.5 minutes in to the opening half. We're going to step aside. We're going to grab a timeout. 17:40 left. Second half, your score. Virginia State Trojans 44. Delaware State Hornets 34. HBCU in D.C. The tip-off experience. Virginia State over Delaware State. Off timeout to reach a whistle. Going to get a hack. It's going to work against the Hornets. I'm starting to sense, Coach, maybe a Hornet comeback, a slight shift of momentum, maybe?
Slight. That's why they got the timeout. Let's see what Virginia State does on the offense in this possession. But Delaware State, first 2 buckets, layups, nice back cut on that last basket.
Off the inbound in the half court, Will Hopkins will spot Jared White. White, entry pass, Damian Coleman over the back is Obisogi. He's going to be whistled for the personal. Tries to deny the pass.
He needs to move his hips and get on the side of him because he got him with the body from the back. The deflection was clean.
That's the first on Obisogi. Inbounding is Jordan Lambert off the entry. Brandon Hillard, baseline left. Hillard picks up the pill. Up top to Lambert. Jordan between the circles. Pill pumps left hand. On the wing left side. Skip pass. Hopkins. Will in the paint. The 15-footer. Rim out. No good. Zion Bethea climbs high. He collects the carry. Other end Hornets trying to chip away. Trying to make it a single-digit deficit. Bethea in the paint. He'll give it up. Obisogi in the lane. Muscles his way through. Shot no good. Gets his own. Hornets reset. In the paint. Bethea. He'll kick it on the wing. Contact in the paint. A foul. Believe they're going to get Jared White, Virginia State, for the personal. Yeah, Jared White picked up the foul at the 16:52 mark.
Delaware State starting to beat the Virginia State defense off the bounce, getting dribble penetration, looking for that kick out.
Zion Bethea going to inbound for the Hornets. Off the entry, Ponce James. Leading scorer for the Hornets on the season. James bounce pass, Obisogi. Loses the handle in the paint. Ball loose. Virginia State gets the loose chain steal. Back the other way. Come the Trojans. Hilliard to the cup. Kiss off window is down. Virginia State back up a dozen, 46-34.
Another live ball turnover, LG. Virginia State all game long has made them pay. Nice finish off the glass.
On the other end, Hornets go to work. Adamar Santos on the wing right side. Cross court, Ponce James controls. 10 to shoot, Ponce on the bounce. Left hand slips inside the arc. James feeds Obisogi, 5 to shoot. Baseline, Ramir Moore. Fade away, 15 feet away. He cannot put it away. Off the rebound, a steal. Here come the Trojans left to right. Down the lane, Will Hopkins. He'll go baseline, Hilliard in the paint. Ball loose, retrieved by Hilliard. Bounce pass to a cutting Hopkins. They lose the handle. Hornets get the steal. Here comes John Bethea the other way. Finds Santos. He'll lay it up and in. Hornets in transition. Cut the gap at the 15:40 mark.
Good look to kick it to Santos on that right wing at 6'8". He can finish over the smaller guards of Virginia State.
Half-court Trojans. Lambert in the paint. Dribble penetration on handoff baseline. The skip pass to Hilliard. Bryant in the lane. Scoop to the hoop. Pretty. Knocks down the deuce. 48-36 is the Trojan lead.
Well, there's that finger roll we were looking for at halftime.
Got a little George Gervin in the building. In the half-court, Ponce James is going to operate. Steps inside the arc. Goes baseline with the rock. Up top, Ramir Moore. Moore between the circles. Hand off James. Ponce top of the key. Steps inside the arc. 5 to shoot. He'll give it up top of the key. Bethea, the fadeaway. All butter. Straight butter for Bethea. Hornets within 10 again at 48-38.
Hornets playing better on the offensive end, but they got to tighten things up defensively.
They got the seal, coach. They answered you. On the other end, Bethea. Zion down the lane. He'll lay it up and in. The lead is sliced to 8 at 48-40.
And Virginia State going to go to the bench. They got 3 guys at the table right now. They looked a little fatigued to me right now.
Jordan Lambert with the walk-up. Virginia State looking to see if they can respond. The kick baseline, Jarrett White, the pull-up, side of the rim, off target, no good. Rebound loose, out of bounds. Last touch, Virginia State trumps. We're going to step aside. We're going to grab a timeout. It comes at the 14-10 mark. Second half, your score. Virginia State 48, Delaware State 40. This is the HBCU NDC tip-off experience. Care First Arena, we're in Washington, D.C. It is the HBCU NDC tip-off experience. Proceeds promote the Blake Bozeman Foundation. On the screen, that's how you donate. Give to the cause, a very, very serious cause. Not just about basketball on this day before Thanksgiving. Lamont Germany along with the coach, Jimmy Fly. And Coach, I think for Delaware State, just mentally seeing a single-digit deficit, I think they believe they're back in this ballgame.
Well, I do. They're playing much better, getting better quality shots. They're getting to the offensive glass. They got a 7-1 advantage on offensive rebounding. I think I got to muddy this game up, get physical, and score in that interior.
Off timeout, Hornets with the pill. That's Corey Perkins pumping it with the right hand. Perkins, the senior, between the circles, barks out signals. Picks up the dribble. He'll go down low. Miles Webb controls along the baseline. Back to Perkins. Up top, Ponce James. James, top of the key. Dribble right hand. Inside the arc. Goes baseline. Perkins attacks. Down the lane. Won't go, but contact. Gonna get a hack. Trojans don't believe it, but Corey Perkins earns a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Virginia State went to the 2-3 zone defense out of the timeout. Perkins, kind of jumping into him. That's a tough call there. I mean, he got a little bit of waist on waist, LG, but to me, that's a play on.
Corey Perkins went to high school in Wilmington, Delaware. He came to Delaware State alongside the coach, Stan Waterman. They came together. Stan said, I like this guy on my high school team. I'm going to take him with me to Delaware State. And they've been together ever since. This is his 4th year as a Hornet. Corey, 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Always good, LG, to keep that homegrown talent in state if you can.
Off the made free throws, we got a 6-point separation. 48-42. Virginia State over Delaware State. Will Hopkins in the half court. He'll feed the wing. Clausen up top. Amari Winbush. Winbush along the baseline. He'll go down low, throws it away. Zion Bethea with the steal. Here come the Hornets. Looking to further chip away at the deficit. Ball loose in the backcourt. Picked up by the Hornets. That's Ponce James. He'll feed Bethea. Thought about the 3. Steps inside the arc. Around the perimeter it goes. Baseline triple. Santos. Side of the rim. Won't fall in. Rebound Hornets, ball out of bounds. Last touch, Delaware State. Virginia State possession.
Well, that's a big missed opportunity there. If Santos was able to knock that down, it would have cut it to a 1-possession 3-point game, and it would have really juiced up that Hornet bench.
They are creeping ever so subtly back into this thing are the Hornets of Delaware State. With the walk-up, Jared Clausen. He'll get it across timeline. Clausen operates in the half court. He'll feed Winbush, gives it up to Lambert. Lambert baseline pivot, fade away by Lambert, air ball. Rebound Bethea, Hornets on the move.
Yeah, Virginia State not getting the same quality of shot they got in the first half.
Pull up by Zion Bethea, cuts the gap to 4 at 48-44.
Yeah, Bethea got that nice upper body strength and a nice 12 to 14, 15-foot pull-up.
They get a steal. Bethea to the rim. He'll lay it up. Misses the bunny. Rebound, Trojans. Here comes Hopkins. Shot blocked by Miles Webb. Beating them down the floor is Bethea. This time he doesn't miss the bunny. Lays it up and in, and Lonnie Blow. Here comes Virginia State. says, I'm going to need to talk about this situation. The Hornets are back in this thing, man.
Oh, they're all the way back in, LG, but they blew the layup. They got the steal on the other end. He hadn't made it back down, so they had an automatic run out, and then he made up for the miscue.
It's Delaware State turning it up on both ends, getting the block. All too often, Coach, comebacks, the foundation, defense.
Well, look at Webb. In the first half, he had them 2 major dunks in transition. This time, stopping the transition bucket at the rim, igniting the Hornet fast break.
Fast break points for the Delaware State Hornets. Big reason why they're back in the ball game. Still down, but just down a deuce.
And LG coach Lonnie Blow for Virginia State, he got that, took another timeout because he didn't want Delaware State to tie, get the lead. He wants to settle his ball club down with a 2-point lead, get into a good set, get a bucket, and make it a 2-possession game.
Once upon a time, Virginia State up a fat 15. That's gone. That's yesterday. That's history. Now we got a 2-point game as the Trojans walk it up as we approach 12 minutes remaining in the second half. Up top, Amari Wimbush. He'll leave it on the wing, Jared Clausen. Clausen on the bounce to the right hand. He'll go baseline with it. Baseline pull-up is sweet. Amari Wimbush, the Bowie State transfer, drops the deuce for the Trojans.
That's exactly why Coach Blow called that timeout, to settle his team down. Now they're back to 2-possession lead and Dean it up on their end of the floor.
On the other end, Hornets. Corey Perkins controls. Perkins to the rim. Reverse layup, no good. Webb with the follow. It's off target. Rebound loose beneath the hole. We get a reach and a whistle. Got some hands reaching in. This one stops the clock at the 11:29 mark. I believe Miles Webb going to pick up the personal for Delaware State.
Oh, he's giving a lot of energy to the Hornets off the bench. He's running in transition. He's beating the bigs of Virginia State up and down the floor.
Yeah, this was the reaching foul by Miles Webb on the other end. Now Virginia State on their end going back to work with 11:15 remaining in the ball game. Up top, he'll lead. Bounce pass in the paint. He turns it over. James with the steal. Ponce with the pill in the half court through traffic. Along the baseline, that's Santos. In the lane, his runner, front rim, no good. Tip is good. I believe that was Ramir Moore with the tip. Moore with the bucket. Delaware State down the deuce, 50-48.
I'm going to say Webb got an assist on that tip in as well.
Up top, Clausen. Jarrett between the circles. Clausen on the bounce to the right hand. Steps inside the arc. The Clausen pull-up. Too strong. Back rim. It won't go. A Hornet rebound. They can tie, maybe take the lead this trip down the floor. Perkins attacks. Stripped to the rock. Steal by Will Hopkins. Hopkins on the run. Will feeds the cutter, and it's turned over. Jackson couldn't handle it. Hornets gets the steal.
Yeah, that was too hard of a pass in tight quarters. He should have gave it up sooner so the big man could have caught, gathered himself, and finished.
In the half court, Hornets trying to see if they can tie this thing up. Maybe even grab a lead. James to the cup. Ponce with the layup.
That's what you want from your leader. They got a chance to get that game tied. He took it to the rack with the reverse right hand finish.
50-50. We're all tied at 50 apiece. 9:55 remaining in the party. Other end, Clausen. We get an offensive foul. Player control personal against Clausen. Del State can grab a lead here.
Yeah, watch him set him up. Nice move in the middle of the lane with the finish.
Pretty finish by Ponce James. Tied the game. Now let's see if the Hornets can break the tie. They're going to have the pill. We'll inbound three-quarter court. Man, they've come back and didn't take a whole lot of time to do it. We got a tie ball game and plenty of ball game left. 9:51 left.
And this could be their first lead since Santos hit that three to open up the game.
Del State with possession. Corey Perkins gives it up. On the wing, James. Ponce James. On the dribble left hand. Steps inside the arc. Ponce finds Santos. Ball poked out of bounds. Last touch by Amari Wimbush. Virginia State. It'll be Delaware State basketball.
Plenty of time. 17 seconds on the shot clock, LG, for Delaware State to get into a good offensive set.
Got a sweet one in D.C. All tied at 50-50. Up top, Perkins. Corey on the dribble left hand. Hand off, Ponce James. James on the wing. Left wing 10 to shoot. Steps inside the arc. James on the dribble. He'll give it up to Santos. 5 to shoot. Loses the handle. Ball stolen. That's Hilliard. Hilliard bounce pass to a trailing. Jackson lays it up and in. The runner left hand goes down. Check that, not Jackson. That was Jalen Wynn. Jalen Wynn with the finish. Virginia State back on top, 52-50.
That's that live ball turnover. I'm thinking 7, 8 live ball turnovers that they converted into points.
On the other end, Ponce James controls. Ponce finds more. Ramir Moore. Hornets working the rock. Down low, shot blocked by Davion Coleman. Virginia State the other way. They almost turned it over. Costa looking to retrieve. He'll feed the wing, Wimbush. Almost a turnover. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Hornets.
Webb's hustle right there saved a bucket for Delaware State.
In transition, Hilliard with the steal. Virginia State able to finish in transition. Jalen Wynn with the bucket. Trojans back on top by 2.
Yeah, live ball killers. Turnovers are killing Delaware State.
Davion Coleman around the perimeter goes, ends up in the arms of Hilliard. Brian Hilliard along the baseline. His shot blocked by Ramir Moore. Hilliard gets it back but turns it over, throws it away. Virginia State a little sloppy in the half court. It's costly. It'll be Delaware State basketball.
Yeah, at the half, this was a 70-point pace game, which favored Virginia State. Now it's a grinded-out affair, which favors Delaware State.
Corey Perkins controls in the half court. He'll give it up on the wing. Right side, Ramir Moore with the basketball. Back to Perkins. Perkins will swing it opposite wing. Bethea launches the 3. Front rim, no good. Coleman with the weak side rebound. Here come the Trojans. On the move, Lambert. Down the lane. Lambert loses the handle. It's stripped and stolen. Corey Perkins with the steal. They hit to Santos. He'll feed the cutter Bethea. He'll lay it up. Wait a minute. Is that going to count? Yes. As the bucket by Bethea will go for Zion Bethea. We're tied once again, Coach, at 52.
Well, good transition. Santos gave it up right moment for the finish. They hit the backboard. I'm not sure that they got a piece of the ball.
Taking
but either way, it went down. Oh, he did touch it, I think.
Yeah, they're going to count it. So on the other end, Virginia State goes to work. Offensive foul. I believe they're going to get Coleman. Davion Coleman, yeah, he's going to pick up the person.
Yeah, these screens out.
Foul on Davion Coleman. Gonna send us to a timeout. It will come with 7:50 remaining in the ball game. HBCU NDC. This is the HBCU NDC, the tip-off experience here at Care First Arena. Not just about basketball, it is all about the Blake Bozeman Foundation. A foundation that has as its mission trying to eradicate some of the senselessness, some of the violence in our inner city communities. You can give to the foundation, looking to empower our youth towards positive things, not only here in D.C., but throughout the country. A problem we got to meet head on and solve. 7:50 left in the party. We are deadlocked at 52. I'm doing the math, Coach. 22-10, Del State here in the second half. Is that right?
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
Flip to the script. Delaware State getting better quality shots in the second half. Virginia State, that 3-ball they were in the first half has been silenced in the second.
Off timeout. Pill belongs to the Hornets. Corey Perkins going to work the rock with the left hand. He'll pick it up, goes opposite wing. That's Ponce James. James barks out signals. He'll give it up to Zion and Bethea. Back to Perkins. Along the baseline, James. Entry pass. That's Miles Webb. He'll lay it up. Back rim. Off target. No good. Rebound ripped down by Hilliard. Back the other way come the Trojans. Virginia State in the half court. Hilliard between the legs. He's on the wing right side. Hilliard will leave it on the wing. Turns it over. Ball stolen, but Corey Perkins could not control it. Gives it right back to Virginia State.
Yeah, they were trying to get White a touch in the post, LG. He hasn't had a bucket, I don't think, in his second half, let alone any quality looks. They might go right back to him.
Got another clock issue here in the arena. Had a halftime issue. with the clock above the basket, and once again it's gone out. We do have 7:13 left though, as we are in the second half. All tied at 52. Trojans looking to break the tie. Jordan Lambert on the bounce with the right hand. He'll give it up on the wing. Shalen Wing has the baseline. His turnaround jumper back rim, no good. Off target. Rebound Hornets.
Webb doing a yeoman's job for Delaware State off the bench on both ends, cleaning up that glass.
Perkins in the half court. Operates on the right wing. Corey Perkins goes top shelf. Bethea opposite wing James. Skip pass. Bethea inside the arc. 15-foot pull-up. Back rim. No good. Jordan Lambert with the rebound. Trojans on the move. Down low, Davian Coleman controls the rock. Lays it up, lays it in. Virginia State back on top again by 2. 54-52.
Well, that was kind of a delayed break, but they moved the ball up the floor with the pass instead of the dribble. I think Virginia State got to try to run whenever they can and not play against that set Hornet defense.
On the wing, Miles Webb, he'll go up top. Adamar Santos, left wing, James. Perkins attacks in the paint. He'll kick the wing, Santos. Dribbles the lane, the runner right hand, front rim, off target. Rebound pulled down by Jalen Wynn. He'll leave it for Lambert. Lambert going to walk it up at the 5:50 mark.
Yeah, Santos, he's got to get the ball up on the rim because the Hornets have been attacking the glass. They had no chance for an offensive rebound there.
Jalen Wynn in the half court. He'll give it up along the baseline. Jared White splits the defenders. Top shelf Lambert. Dribble penetration to kick to White. Launches a deep one. Knocks down his 5th tray of the day. Jared White with another bomb. 57-52 lead.
With that combination, Lambert breaking down the defense off the bounce and then kick out to White. White's first bucket in the second half.
On the other end, Hornets go to work. Perkins feeds James. Touch pass, baseline, Bethea. His triplet off target. Rebound Hilliard. Here come the men of Troy.
White's calling for it over on that left wing.
Virginia State in the half court. Hilliard bounce pass to a cutting Coleman. Ball lost out of bounds. Comes with 4:57 left in this one. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Marcus Jackson checks back in. Jared Clausen back in the game for Virginia State.
Well, Perkins on a help weak side stripped that ball from Coleman. Otherwise, he'd have had an easy layup.
Lambert the inbound. Looking for an entry spot. Jackson, he'll give it up. Lambert, baseline right. Spot up by White. Too strong. Back rim, no good. Here come the Hornets. They are down 5. They go to work in the half court. Along the baseline. Jump stop. Ramir Moore. His layup, no good. Contact. A whistle. Stopping the clock at 4:44 mark. Going to get Jared White for the person.
It isn't pretty much been a clean game, LG. Delaware State's only shot 3 total free throws. They're 2 or 3. And Virginia State's only been to the line 8 times, and they made 6.
Ramir Moore at the free throw line. Grad student. Philadelphia, PA native. Takes and makes the first free throw. 75% from the stripe on the season. First year with the Hornets came from Wagner. Transfer from Wagner to Delaware State. He'll have one more toss.
But he's a big now. Make this a one-possession game.
Made them both.
Down to 3-point lead for Virginia State, and we got a timeout.
Timeout comes. 30-second timeout with 4:44. Once again, this is all about more than basketball. Blake Bozeman Foundation. Presenting HBCU in D.C., the tip-off experience. Again, the foundation's core principles is trying to empower our young people through mentorship, through education, through community. Young people imitate. They do what we do. If we want them to do right, we have to do right. And one right thing you can do right now, contribute, donate. You see it right there on the screen. No need to hesitate. Go ahead and dig in. HBCU in D.C., the tip-off experience about more than basketball. But we got quite the basketball game, Coach, between Delaware State and Virginia State.
Delaware State on their way back. One-possession game, 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go. As Moses Malone would say, LG, fold.
It'll be Trojan basketball. as Jarrett White will inbound. White controls full-court pressure by the Hornets. Virginia State beats the pressure with the pass in the half-court. Clausen controls. Gets it back to Lambert. Virginia State sets the half-court offense. 4.5 remaining in the second half. White on the wing, right side. Goes baseline, Clausen. 10 to shoot. Clausen around the perimeter. Leaves it on the baseline for Jarrett White. 5 to shoot. White pulls up his jumper. Weak side rebound. Hornets back the other way, Del State. Down 3. They can do something about it. This trip down the floor, Corey Perkins controls.
And that Perkins, good closeout on White to contest that last jumper.
Zion Bethea on the wing right side. Bethea backs off, gives it up to Perkins. Opposite wing, Ponce James. Perkins retreats, leaves it for Bethea. 5 on the shot clock. They'll pull up. Rise rim won't go. Jordan Lambert with the rebound. Here come the Trojans. 3:40 remaining in the game.
That 2-3 Trojan defense is keeping Delaware
Hilliard with
State
the
at
pull
bay.
up in the paint, no good. Rebound more. Hornets are going to come back the other way.
Yeah, I think you got to be patient if you're Delaware State against this zone. Get some dribble penetration, kick out.
James for 3, too strong. Back rim, no good. Open look didn't go. Lambert on the other end. Lob pass is too strong. Stolen by the Hornets. Here comes Bethea. Zion wraparound layup. Smooch off glass goes down. We got a 1-point game. Virginia State 57, Delaware State 56.
Trap on at half court.
In trouble, Hilliard. He'll find Clausen on the wing. He's open. He'll take it. Can't make it. Back rim, no good. Miles Webb with the rebound. Hornets can reclaim the lead. This trip down the floor, they're down 1. We got 2:45 remaining in this one.
That was an early shot by Clausen. I don't think Coach Blow wanted that with a 1-point lead. James in the half court for Delaware State.
He'll kick it to Corey Perkins on the wing right side. Up top, James. Shot clock whittles down to 5. Steps inside the arc to pull up. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Jarrett White. 1-point lead. Virginia State has the ball. And the 1-point lead over Delaware State.
Yeah, I think you got to keep the ball in White and Lambert's hands and look to those two to carry you down the stretch.
Hilliard on the wing, right side. 10 on the shot clock. Hilliard on the bounce, left hand. He'll leave it in the paint. Marcus Jackson, turnaround jumper is sweet. Big boy wanted the N1, but he gets the bucket. The lead is 3 for Virginia State at 59-56.
Big time move. He was being denied the entry pass and he worked to get open.
In the paint, up top now for James. James will go baseline with it. 3-ball, Zion Bethea grazes the rim, no good, but stepping out of bounds is Clausen.
And I take the same approach when it comes to my health.
Back to the finish, HBCU in D.C. Tip-off experience. 'Tis the season for thankful giving. You can give to the Blake Bozeman Foundation. Proud presenters of the HBCU in D.C. Tip-off experience. You see it right there, upper left on your screen. Give now, as the foundation is about doing some things to change some things. We got a good thing going on here at the Care First Arena, Coach Jimmy Fly. We got a 3-point ball game with 1:40 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, coming down the stretch of a tight one. Delaware State has 2 timeouts left. Coach Blow for Virginia State, he's got 1 timeout left. It's anybody's ball game right now.
Off timeout, Del State controls. Corey Perkins with the pill. On the wing left side, Perkins dribbles around the perimeter. 10 on the shot clock, 1:30 on the game clock. Perkins goes baseline left. Corey in the paint. The kick up top. Triple on the way. Romare Moore's triplet. Rims out, won't go.
Good
Rebound
hustle.
Del State. Big board for the Hornets. They reset. 1:18 left. Hornets are down 3.
Webb jumped, couldn't get the rebound, but he poked that ball away, saved the possession for the Hornets.
In the half court, Ponce James. He'll pull up. Open 10-footer. Knocks it down. Cuts the gap to 1. As Ponce James able to hit the jumper. Timeout. Shan Waterman. Ponce James, leading scorer for Del State. Ball in his hands. Able to make the bucket. That's money time, Coach. Needed that one. They got it.
Well, he did a little side step back, got some space from Lambert, elevated, knocked it down.
1 point ball game. That means any old body's ball game. Bozeman Foundation, quite the event, coach. No place I'd rather be, joint spin jumping, and we got a great ball game on our hands.
Well, you can play this possession out and still have plenty of time left, LG.
Absolutely.
Only down 1, but the one thing I noticed, Delaware State only has 3 team fouls. Coach Waterman may decide to take a couple fouls and try to get some steals here just to get closer to the bonus in case Virginia State's able to score and he has to foul later in this last 1 minute and 6. So look for that coming out of this timeout.
Been a tale of 2 halves. First half belonged most decidedly to Virginia State. In the second half, Delaware State has asserted. Consequently, we got a skin-tight ball game, as close as it gets. Just a 1-point lead for Virginia State at 59-58. Clock reads 1:06 left in this one.
You slid another Ohio player reference in there.
Then you got to get a little skin-tight every once in a while. Here we go. Virginia State with the walk-up. And a half-court Lambert. He'll feed the wing, Will Hopkins. Hopkins on the bounce left hand, back to White, top of the key. White around the perimeter, Lambert. Opposite wing, Coleman. He'll leave it for Clausen. Clausen, dribble right hand, down low. Coleman, trap baseline. The kick to an open Lambert. 3 on the way. Back ram, off target. Rebound, Miles Webb, traveling. Is Webb lost his footing with possession of the basketball? The call is traveling. It'll be Virginia State possession.
Well, that's
Come on, Coach.
That's the way they call it. No,
we're going to take another look. Tell me what you think.
Oh, it's traveling because that's the way the rule book calls it. But I'm saying if a player falls on the ground, well, he's out of bounds as well. I'd like to see them change that unless you're just rolling around.
39.2 left game clock.
But Webb has been putting it on the line. He's been active on both ends on the glass for Delaware State. They need to get a stop here. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Still can play the full 20 without fouling LG and putting them on the line.
Going to take Davion Coleman out of the game. Amari Winbush will replace him in the Virginia State lineup. They will inbound. They have a 1-point lead with 39 seconds.
You got to look for White and Lambert to get a shot here.
Lambert has a rock. He's harassed and going to be fouled by Ponce James.
Yeah, that's only the 14th foul, so they can give 2 more fouls right now. I would tell my guards to get real aggressive and go for a steal to see if you can poke that ball loose and get a live ball turnover.
Hopkins to inbound. Off the entry, it's Lambert. James, again, aggressive on the ball defense and another foul.
You see, that still doesn't put him in a one-on-one, although James, if he's picking up additional fouls, it could get him in foul trouble. You may want somebody else to foul, switch him off of Lambert in case this game goes into overtime.
9-second separation, game clock, shot clock. Don't get a timeout. Lonnie Blow wants to strategize. Take us into both huddles, Coach. Virginia State and then Delaware State.
Well, if I'm Virginia State, I'm getting the ball into my best player's hand, and right now that's Jared White. I'm trying to get him isolated. And I might think about putting the freshman Jackson in, even in this pressure situation, because he's already shown that he can post up and make a play at the front of the rim, and he'll give you more offensive rebounding. They need a bucket here, because with 20 seconds left, if Delaware State gets a stop and gets the defensive rebound, they'll have 6-7 seconds left. Plenty of time with 1 timeout to advance the ball and get the last shot of this game.
All about execution in the final 29.8 in the inaugural Blake Bozeman Foundation presents HBCU NDC tip-off experience. Delaware State Hornets out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference against Virginia State. The Trojans, defending champs from a season ago in the CIAA. They believe they may have a team just as good this year in the CIAA.
They may be better.
Could be better than last year's team. 2-2 record, though, is a little deceiving. They lost 2 games by 2 points apiece. They're just a couple of shots from being 4-0 against highly ranked opponents. on the Division II level, but today, the opponent, Delaware State. The lead is won at 59-58. Showdown in D.C. here at the Care First Arena between the Hornets and the Trojans.
Well, Hilliard's another guy that's been able to beat players off the bounce, but to me, I'm going to trust Lambert, and I want to find White to get a good quality shot in this possession.
Off timeout, Virginia State inbounds. Will Hopkins controls. Hopkins on the bounce with the left hand. He'll hand off to Clausen. Clausen will be fouled. Looks like a whistle will work against the Hornets. Going to get Corey Perkins, I believe, for the person.
But that still doesn't put him on the line. I told you earlier they only had 3 team fouls, so now that puts them at 6. But you only got a 2.5-second differential now on the shot clock, LG. So now you can't afford to let them work the clock down. You're going to have to take a foul here.
Look at the inbalance. Hilliard finds Clausen. Clausen controls.
You got to foul him.
Has it on the wing left side, and yet Miles Webb commits the foul.
See, you lost 4 or 5 seconds there. You got to foul immediate in that situation. Webb obviously got on a switch on a smaller guard, was hesitant to go out early.
Yeah, you got to extend the game when you're down, Del State down, but by only 1 at 59-58. And going to get late sub Davion Coleman back in the game. He'll replace Hilliard. Little defense for offense for Coach Lonnie Blow.
And Clausen, he's only shot 7 free throws on the season, but made 6. He's at an 85% stroker from that free throw line. So you expect he's going to make at least 1, if not both, which will make it a 2 or 3 point game. That's
Zion Bethea back in, Adamar Santos back in.
Yeah, that's going to dictate what Del State has to do on the offensive end if he makes both or misses 1. But you got to box out if you're Del State. Cannot afford a miss and an offensive rebound.
Big ones for Clausen, the senior from Alexandria, Virginia. The take and the make. Rattles home for Clausen. He'll have 1 more. Well, 6 of 7 on the season from the free throw line coming in to today's game. Clausen, another toss, another take, a miss, a rim out, no good. 2-point lead for Virginia State, but Del State has the rock. No shot clock. Down the lane, James loses the handle. Stolen by Virginia State. Foul on Miles Webb. Jared White will be at the free throw line with 8 seconds left. Could be a costly turnover for the Hornets.
Yeah, I'm surprised Coach Waterman didn't call a timeout when they got the ball in the front court. I guess he had his team, he was comfortable to play on. He still has that 1 timeout left, so if they could get a miss out of one of these shots, they still have time to get down and get this game tied up.
Jared White had not taken a free throw this season prior to this game, but he was pure.
Well, the way he was hitting threes.
Butter on that one.
Yeah, the way he was hitting 25-footers earlier, 15-footer, that's nothing for him.
This is a big one. Would force the Hornets to take a 3. He makes it.
You got to get a quick score
only
and a
8
timeout.
seconds. Need 2 possessions. Down the lane, Ponce James. He'll take the floater. That's going to be your ball game. That's the buzzer. This bad boy is in the bank. It is all over and done with as the Virginia State Hornets are winners of the inaugural HBCU in D.C. tip-off experience. A good one, a close one, a tight one. But Virginia State getting on the road back to Petersburg with the dub, the 62-58 win over Delaware State.
Well, Jared White clinching it from the free throw line for the Trojans of Virginia State, LG. He did it all game long from deep. And then
Jared White is our player of the game, Coach Jimmy Fly. He had the hot hand in the first half with 4 3 balls, hit a 3 in the second half, 5 total, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and as you mentioned, Coach, he put the coup de grace on this one from the free throw line.
Yeah, big time game from him. As you see, he was just burying shots in that first half.
Like the intensity, I like the camaraderie, I like the concept. I really hope this thing grows moving forward, but a good way to debut, Coach. here at Care First Arena in the HBCU NDC tip-off experience.
No question. Great crowd, great environment, great saxophone playing to open it up. It's been great all day long. And tip your hat to Coach Bozeman and his family for setting this thing up and the foundation for his son.
Yeah, I think it's just the first step of many, as I believe that this classic will grow and expand in years to come. But in the first year, this is going to be a hard one to match, man, as they got off the bank and they debuted with a bang. Good matchup, Virginia State and Delaware State. Two teams with pedigree, two coaches with pedigree. Stan Waterman did a great job at Delaware State, was a legendary coach on the high school ranks in Delaware. And Lonnie Blow, he's been the man in the CIAA for decades, won championships with multiple teams, and brings his Virginia State squad into this arena in D.C., and they get the win.
Well, it's going to be a happy ride home for Virginia State and a happy Thanksgiving turkey. That turkey goes down.
So people that you meet at Nation United, you're going to know for the rest of your life.